When you get the first job, don't try to change the world for the first 6 months to a year. Ask more questions than you answer. My friends, you have no idea how many people ask me, hey, after 3 months, I'm not doing anything. 2 months, I'm not doing anything. What should I do? I feel like I'm wasting my time. I had somebody ask me, hey, I'm cleaning the office. Today, we will be going over advice, straight advice from engineers and industry to graduating seniors in engineering. So make sure that you stay with me until the end so that you can get the most benefit and apply it to your career. Now, I got this advice from a Facebook group that I'm part of, and that I'm going to link it here in the description. But there's a bunch of engineers out there that share their insight, their wisdom, and their experience. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Alex Isidro, and here in the channel, I share engineering career and purpose content to help you in your engineering journey and professionally and your self-development journey as well. Okay, so with all that being said, the first advice that I have here, and the question, overarching question is, if you could give one piece of advice to the graduating seniors in this group, what would it be? So the first one says, 8 times out of 10, industry does not match what you went to school for. The first 3 to 12 months of your career are a learning experience. Be sure to take full advantage of it. I agree with this. A lot of the times we think that we're going to be stuck with our first job. We are very, very hesitant to take anything that doesn't really align with what we really imagined in the past, but take it as a stepping stone. Don't think that you're going to be doomed and you're just going to be stuck to one field once you graduate. There's plenty of opportunities and you are going to learn something, especially in your first job. So keep your mind open, go, keep learning, and move on. The next piece of advice is also, if you don't have a job lined up, you may have to take internships until you do. That is true. If you have nothing else, then might as well just get something going, something that's going to get you in the door, so that way you're not wasting time and wasting your talent working in things that are non-engineering related. The next piece of advice here from the same person, mind you, is enjoy your senior year and have fun when you can. Because when you are working, you don't get breaks. Remember, all this math you learn will be done by Microsoft Excel. I am Microsoft Excel king, my friend. I completely agree. A lot of Excel programming and coding, which is really not that bad. And it says, don't overwork yourself in your career. Take time for friends and family. Work will always be there. You only have so much time to spend with family. I could not agree with this piece of advice more. We all know that the engineering industry can be hectic. It can be stressful. There's a lot of things that are always happening. One priority after another. Before you know it, you are prioritizing the priority list, and everything needs attention. One thing to keep in mind is that if you have, or no, not if you, but make sure that you do make time to take time off. Make time, especially during these times when you are in the holidays, go to spend time with your friends, with your family, because that's what truly matters in the long run. In the end, that's what's really going to keep you going. It's not going to be your job. Your job, although, hey, it's important. You got to do what you got to do, but also don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to set boundaries. I've shared videos in the past on how to assert yourself, how to not be intimidated by titles, and how to be more confident in your work, in your career as an engineer. So go make sure, check out these videos that are going to be in the description after this one, of course. One quick thing that I want to share here is that there is a company, I don't know how popular this is, but there is one company that I used to work with, not for, but with, and this company would literally shut down for the last 2 weeks of December every single year. To me, that really means a lot, because that means that you are prioritizing for whether it is for profit or not for profit, whatever. The bottom line is that people want, or at least I think that I would appreciate definitely time off from my work during the holidays. And if I can do that, if I'm going to be traveling, I would certainly appreciate that gesture from the company. Let's keep moving forward here with the next piece of advice. And it says, the stress does not end when school ends. It becomes a more intense but different type of a stress. Yes, it can be. I've had situations when I was really stressed out, but like I've mentioned in the past, if you watch any of the videos or my entry-level position, and even until now, the work that I personally have goes up and down in waves. Sometimes I'm extremely slammed, but there's a lot of stress, very hectic. And then because you turn everything in and then you meet your deadlines, or you don't meet your deadlines, once everything is turned in and it's being reviewed by the customer, by the client, then depending on what kind of company or what kind of work you do, generally you have a little bit of a downtime while that paperwork and all the work that you just did is being reviewed. But yeah, it can be stressful 100%, but don't let these deter you from majoring in engineering. Do not be afraid. If you work out, if you take care of yourself, if you make yourself a priority, because if you don't make yourself a priority, you're not going to be able to perform. You are not going to be able to deal with the stress and handle the stress that you have from your job. Then you are going to buckle and you're going to fail if you don't take care of yourself. So make sure that you do take care of yourself. And if you want, I have a video of healthy habits for engineers. So make sure you check that out out after this video, of course. A couple more pieces of advice here is when you get the first job, don't try to change the world for the first 6 months to a year. Ask more questions than you answer. 100%. My friends, you have no idea how many people ask me, hey, after 3 months, I'm not doing anything. 2 months, I'm not doing anything. What should I do? I feel like I'm wasting my time. I had somebody ask me, hey, I'm cleaning the office. Am I wasting my time here? I'm wasting my college education. Keep in mind that to get going in the engineering industry, it's not going to be from one day to another that you're going to be taking on these big projects. I mean, think about it yourself. Would you give somebody that just graduated college, especially if the person has no experience whatsoever, would you give that person a huge project where there's a lot of on the line, where there's a lot of time, where there's a lot of money and resources being invested? No, right? You will have the engineer follow other senior engineers first, and then over time start piling up more and more responsibilities. So the first 6 months, I want to say even the first year, it's all about learning. Personally, I think it takes approximately a year for you to be locked in and actually know the duties that you have for your engineering job, generally speaking. And then somebody actually replied to this comment and this piece of advice, and it says, the brand new engineer syndrome is to show up, look at the mess that is the current project, and start asserting that something is wrong because not everything is neat and tidy like a school project that only lasts 3 months. In reality, there often is a reason for the state of things, probably money, sometimes schedule, sometimes the team had the best intentions in going that direction. And well, for 98% of these cases, your senior coworkers are already painfully aware of the situation. 100%. Avoiding assertions and instead of asking why things are done this way, how the team arrived at the choices they did, etc., will likely get you a history lesson with so much more useful. For the other 2%, once you've had a history lesson, there is your chance to ask, have you considered X? So basically this comment is saying that whenever you find a mess in a new company, when you're first starting, trust me, and I agree with this person right here, that people are already aware of the issues. People are already aware of what's going on. It's not like you're discovering fire. Now, the good thing and the way to go, I think also, and I agree with this person here, is to start finding out what happened. What is the history behind all the decisions in the current state of things? Some things go years, some things go decades. You never know what kind of mess you're going to find when you join the engineering industry. And so if you have something new to provide, if you have a new approach that hasn't been considered, you can bring that up, but also don't just point fingers and tell people that are doing it straight up, you are messing up, because you're just not going to be, it's not the right foot to start your career with. People aren't going to be very sympathetic to what you're saying or listening, because think about it. If a young guy or a young girl comes into the office and starts telling you what to do, especially right out of college, for as right as you may be, there's going to be a lot of hesitation. So you have to blend in the beginning. And then over time, once people know you, you can start throwing out ideas and start establishing yourself with any innovations you may have. Okay. And the last piece of advice that we have here is that your career is what you make of it. No one else will look out for you, but negotiate the pay raise. Push for that extra responsibility or cool opportunity. In hindsight, generally speaking, I do agree with this comment. Basically, never stop growing. Negotiate your pay raise. Do not just accept the first number a company gives you when they're trying to hire you. Remember, they're going to try to give you the least amount of possible that they have in the beginning. But if you counter offer and you know how to do all that, then you're going to be much, much better off. Who knows? You may get a higher salary than somebody else in the company. Now, the other thing is that whenever you are looking to expand yourself to learn more, if you want to know everything that I personally learned in my engineering career, go make sure that you check out that document in the description, because that's where I lay it all out for you for your benefit and your application. So do not miss it. I highly encourage you to go take a look at that. And the last one that I personally added to this thread is, depending on your field, get on the field. Don't be in the office 100% of the time. The field is where you learn the most, the fastest. And I mentioned here that I have a whole new channel discussing this and other relevant topics. And so if I say so myself, I do agree with myself when it comes to getting on the field. I've shared with you plenty of times what it really is like to learn from electricians that are on the field, machinists, welders, from people that are doing that from a day-to-day basis. Because a lot of the times we think that we have a solid college education, but in reality, the application is what we're lacking. And then when we go to the field and we get dirty and we get our hands, boots on the ground, you are really, really going to explore and discover a whole new world where you are going to leverage the experience and wisdom from other people for your own advantage. And of course, for the advantage of your company and your career as well. Now, if I say so myself, these are great pieces of advice here from this group. So go join if you are not already there. And if you want to know more about my personal regrets as a mechanical engineer in the last 10 years, go check out this video right here, because I tell you everything that you need to know so that you avoid the mistakes that I made in the past. I'll see you on the other side. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.